So you want to escape your negative life, huh? Or maybe just some negative problems or negative life situations that you may be experiencing. Have you ever heard that idea of the problems of people are obvious to everybody but the person who has them? For some reason, I guess it's because of our blind spots, we just can't see where we are going wrong, what we are doing that is causing our life to be a certain way. But the fact is that, well, we all have energy, right? And energy is the force of creation. What you give energy to, that is what grows. And this energy is flowing through us out into the world. And so whether we are realizing it or not, we are creating our reality every moment. Because our minds are a tool to direct this flow of energy. And so the entire quality of our life is determined by the quality of the things that we focus our attention on. So it's simple. What are we giving our attention to? Because you cannot have an abundance of problems if you are not always feeding these problems. Because this energy is also the force of life. And without being fed this life force, nothing can survive. You only keep things alive when you give them your time and attention. And so it's quite simple. You pinpoint all of the ways you are giving your energy, your attention to things that are negative, and you stop it. But you might say, well, it's not that easy to stop. And I would say, yes, you're right. Because what determines where we give our attention, what we give our energy to, comes down to our identity. Whatever identity we believe, whatever identity that we've taken on, that is where we orient our attention. And so you see, if we are always giving our attention to negativity, it is because we have been conditioned into a certain kind of identity, one that is negative. And you will see this in the patterns and in the tendencies of other people and in yourself. Do you always worry about the same things? Are you always afraid? Are you always ruminating upon the past? What are the stories that you are telling yourself in your mind on a daily basis? How do you go into interactions with other people? You see, if we have trauma of the past, which we all do, this trauma is going to shape our mind, and it's going to shape the way we focus our attention. And the first step to change is always awareness. It's becoming aware of the fact that we are actually doing this. Becoming aware of our tendencies. Because most people are living their lives unconsciously. We have no idea why our life is the way it is. It's just things are happening to us. But things are not happening to us. Life is happening from us and for us. The outer world is but a reflection of what is within, because there is only one reality. So the moment you change what is within, your identity, your thoughts, your beliefs, the story in your mind, the outer world begins changing to reflect this inner state. And it may take some time because this reality moves slowly, but it is inevitable. And so the process is very simple. You look at your world, your life, and you say, is this the life that I want to be living? What are all the things in my day-to-day that are causing me misery and suffering? What are my thoughts, my ideas? What is the story in my mind? And you look at all the things, just be aware of it. You don't have to change anything. Not yet. By simply being aware alone, the process of change begins. Because you can't change what you are not aware of. Because you don't know what the problem is. You see, for millions and millions of years, human beings have been forced to operate under the jurisdiction of the animal kingdom. Meaning this 3D world. We are an individual human animal trying to survive in a hostile environment. It's just that the environment now has become more complex. And so we believe it to be a dog-eat-dog world. And that we have to struggle and strive every day to work so hard to get what we want. But you see, the world is changing. There is a spiritual awakening that is happening. And you, at any moment, can become free from this prison and enter into a reality in which you are the creator. You are the architect of your reality. And so long as you can think it in your mind, you can create it in reality. But so long as you believe yourself to be this little ego, well, then you are like stuck in manual mode. Everything in your life you have to manually create with your hands. When in truth, your creative power is your imagination. Can you see the difference between creating your reality with your hands and creating your reality with your mind? Which one would you prefer? Would you rather be able to will things into existence or struggle to make things happen? But you must first become free from the illusion, because you cannot operate inside the prison and be free to create any life you desire. You will always be at the mercy of society, of the system, of money, of your job, of the people around you. So you must become free first. And to be free means to realize that the only prison in existence is in your own mind. It's the stories that we are attached to. My life isn't going the way I want it to. But if you think about it, why do we desire things? Why do we want to have this or that? And the answer is quite simple. It's because when we have what we want, we feel good. Or at least we think we will. We want to feel a certain way. And when we lack something, we lack the feeling. Or we have the feeling of lack. But you see, a person with $1 million and a person with zero, they are both still capable of feeling the exact same things. It's just one has something and the other doesn't. And so it was never about having the things. It was always about feeling a certain way. And you have access to all the feelings. But if you are stuck in a story in your mind, that will perpetuate negative feelings. Because you will feel like, oh, okay, I am stuck. I am a slave. Every day I have to wake up and do things that I don't want to do. And I hate my life. And maybe, just maybe, one day I can escape. And I could have something more. Maybe if I just save up enough money. But you see, that is the message that is given to the slaves to keep them a slave. To hope that there is a better future. So that if they just behave, that one day everything will be better. But that future never comes. Because there is no tomorrow. There is only right now. And so if you cannot learn to be happy, peaceful, right now, it will never happen. You may only get fleeting glimpses of these things and be in a perpetual state of struggle. Even if you get everything that you wanted, remember that you are still stuck with yourself. Doesn't matter if you go on vacation to try and get away from it all, the prison is still here. Therefore, to change your reality is futile. To change your outer circumstances is irrelevant. And I want to save you years of struggle, believing in a false illusion, so that you can find what you are looking for right now. You see, you have the infinite power of creation within you. Infinite potential. And this infinite potential gets filtered down into the present moment, into actuality, and then out into the world. And so we are like riding this wave of potential, always moving around, jumping to different timelines. An infinite array of different realities in which you are living a different life. And you see, most people are stuck on the same timeline their whole life. Why is that? It's because once they have solidified into a certain identity, people rarely change. Because to change means death, and people do not like to die. And yet, when people remain unchanged, that is when death consumes them. And so you see, there is a reality in which you have everything you want, but ask yourself, how does that person think? How does that person feel? Do you not have access to change your thoughts? Do you not have the ability to change your actions? Do you not have the ability to feel happy and at peace? So in order to enter into that reality, all you have to do is match those feelings, is to match those thoughts. And you can do that through matching your actions. Sure, there's a bit of manual override from your current default state, your current thoughts, your current feelings. But you should know that your thoughts influence your feelings, and your feelings influence your actions. So the moment you start thinking different thoughts, the moment you start jumping timelines, because you have begun to change. You have to change the story in your head about the life that you're living. You see, because it is not our experiences, but our reaction to them that causes all the trouble. Even if you are going to a monotonous job that you hate, this is nothing but a perspective, an interpretation that you can change. You can shift your attention to focus on, well, how you are grateful, because a lot of people don't have a job. A lot of people don't have food. A lot of people don't have a house. A lot of people have nothing. But when we are so caught up in our own suffering, we can only focus on ourselves. And that is how we get lost in this story, because we're so trapped in our minds. And so all we have to do is begin shifting our perspective, having new ideas, creating a new story that we actually want to live. And day by day, our outer reality will begin changing to reflect this new identity, to reflect our new thoughts, our new feelings, and our actions. We just have to stop feeding negativity. When we look at our current life situation, we cannot pay attention to what we believe are the facts of our reality. Because when we pay attention to already what is, we can only reinforce what is. That is why we have to turn within and imagine a new reality. You have to close your eyes and suspend disbelief for a bit. You must recognize that you are the creator of your reality. And so rather than focusing on what is, you focus on the excitement, on the joy of creating this new reality. You enter into a state of curiosity. What's going to happen next? What kind of adventure am I going to embark on today? And then you just allow things to unfold and enjoy the ride. Because life is meant to be enjoyed, not to be enslaved. And of course, it's not always easy, but life wasn't meant to be easy.